I would not like to be attacked for the story I am about to tell because I already know how the comments are gonna be on this before understanding the fact that I'm an introverted, anxious individual. Matara invited me to go to the BB No Money concert. So I said, yeah, why the hell not? And she said, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of friends, you know, streamers there to talk to. And I said, wow, maybe I'll get to catch up with some friends that I haven't seen in a while. Yeah, I'm so down. I pull up and Matara comes in and says, hey girly, gives me a big hug. The first thing that already just makes me feel a little nervous and awkward is the fact that we were the only VTubers there. And they were streaming the event backstage as well, right? If there's a stream for IRL stuff and there are VTubers, we're gonna be going there wearing our masks, right? I'm the only one in that whole area quivering in the corner with a mask, and I actually genuinely looked like I was sick because, you know, nobody knows that I'm a VTuber, that literal me. We didn't know a single person there. Maybe Matara knew one or two people, but I did not know a single person there. I was actually just hiding behind Matara for almost the entirety of this pre-show event, just quivering like a chihuahua behind her, and then I see Will Neff and we both lock eyes and make eye contact with each other, and he kind of does a nod because I don't think he recognized me. And then I just kind of looked back at him and I nodded back, and I was saying to myself, should I go say hi? And instead I made a vocal reaction and go like, ugh. Nobody heard it but me, but I think I was like mid convo with Matara and her manager or something, where I just went like, ugh. I just shuddered out loud, and they both looked at me, and I said, oh, sorry, nothing. Where's the bathroom? And then I go into the bathroom, and I say, God damn it, Numi, damn it. And then I come out of the bathroom, and we're just sitting in a chair. I said, damn, I hope they got any drinks in the back here. I need something to bring me back to life. And then I go over to get Matara and her manager a drink, and I bring it over. I'm just kind of downing it in the corner. I said, please, courage, please. Didn't really happen. Did not change me or give me any sort of confidence or courage whatsoever. Instead, I was just kind of sitting there looking at the most beautiful girls I've ever seen just kind of casually walk by, and this was a cosplay concert. One girl who was very, very pretty, she dressed up as Catwoman. I love Catwoman, so I saw her, and then I looked over at Matara and said, is that not the prettiest girl? And they said, oh, poor Numi, she's... you poor, you're looking at all of these pretty ladies, are you? And I said, fucking leave me alone. What else am I supposed to do aside from just fawn over pretty people and tweak in the corner? I probably looked crazy. What am I gonna do, right? And then I said to myself, maybe I should compliment her cosplay. Matara said, why don't we just go ask to take a picture with her because she's got a really cool cosplay? I said, no, it's fine. No, don't even worry about it. It's fine. And she's just like, girl, okay. And I said, don't even worry about it. Yeah, let's just talk about life and the meaning of the life that we are living in. And we're just, I was not really in the front. I was kind of out of public eye, dancing in the darkness in on top of a couch in the back corner, right? I'm just standing there, but then I decide to go up to the railing for maybe a good second or two. This is the railing of the balcony. Here's Matara's manager. She was Bestie, by the way. That was Bestie. It was me. Matara was like behind us, and then the person that pulls up right next to us is the Catwoman. And so she's on this side, but she also is kind of like slightly closer to me because Matara was behind me, right? And so Matara takes this fucking opportunity to start talking to her and to compliment her cosplay. And Matara does this thing where she would try to include me in these conversations, where she says, yeah, me and my friend were talking about how amazing your cosplay was. And so the really sweet Catwoman cosplayer gets excited, and so she kind of turns around towards Matara and me to talk to her and have a conversation with her. I need to now go ahead and show you how I reacted when she started trying to drag me into the conversation. Okay, watch the way like that. Okay, the way she turns and only looks to the left. What I ended up doing when she tried to talk to me, I shifted my entire body to the right. When she was on my left, I turned it entirely to the right and just looked down and just disengaged. And then she left. And the Matara just comes up to me and she said, I cannot believe she would have said if you said she would have talked to us if you just said something and I said I didn't know what else to do, so I didn't know what to, I what did you want me to, I didn't know what else to do. I didn't know what else to do. That's worse than running. Yeah, okay, well, you know, that was the thing that she tweeted about, where she said she just witnessed the worst rizz she's ever seen in her life, was the way that I just completely turned away. There's no saving Numi. Yuzu, I wish you were there. I know I would have been okay if Yuzu was with me, bro. If Yuzu was with me. But, you know, it got worse. We go back up because it was BB No Money was performing. And at this point, I did have a slight little buzz, thank fucking God. So I was able to just be a little more loose. Unfortunately, Matara is an old hag. I'm getting into the music because his music is really fun to dance to. I'm holding my little drink with both my hands. I got both my hands on this little can. I turned around. It was not Matara, but a group of the most attractive people I've ever seen. Black-haired beauties surrounding me. Alt indie beauties, and they're beautiful like guys that they were with, and then I was just like, oh my fucking God, oh my fucking God. And I just immediately turned around and I started to sweat. I'm just like, wait, where is she? 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 And at this point I start nervous stimming, going like this with my can. I'm starting, my legs are shaking, like my you know when your leg starts stimming. The girls go to the left and the right of me. These girls are pulling up with their guys in these insane cosplays where anybody that looks at them, if they were in school, you would want to be friends with them because they look so badass and shit. I was like, wait a minute, this couple, this was a TikTok couple that I've been following since the pandemic because I just thought they were so cool. And then she talks to me. She starts a conversation with me, and I'm just like, oh fuck. And she looks at me and she says, are you not really hot in this outfit that you're wearing? I'm like, wait, what? I'm sorry. I'm like, huh? What? I said, are you not hot in this outfit? I turned towards her, and then I kind of open my jacket, and I said, no, I'm wearing a crop top under this. And like, I feel like I flashed her. And she said, oh wow. And I'm wearing a mask at this point. And so I was thinking, oh my God, she's gonna think I'm fucking sick. And so I said, hi, I'm Numi, by the way. I'm a VTuber. Oh my God. I feel like if you're playing a sim date and you choose the absolute worst fucking choices that you can choose. But then she just looked at me. She's like, whoa, wait, really? Oh my God, I was just telling my boyfriend earlier about what a VTuber was because he had no idea what it was. And then I said, like, what? Wait, aren't you guys dressed as anime characters? And she said, yeah, can you tell who I am? And she takes a step back. She's so fucking pretty, bro. I was like, wow, wow, that's such a cool cosplay. And I said, and you guys don't, and bro didn't know what a VTuber was. He's like, no, I'm saying. I was like, wow, you guys' cosplays look great. And then she said, wow, yeah, thank you so much. And then she just started introducing me to all of her hot black hair beauty friends. And I'm like, hi, I'm Numi, I'm a VTuber. Hi, I'm Numi, I'm a VTuber. Thank fucking God I didn't say Nimune, bro. There's no way they can look me up. Nice, Numi VTuber. Shut the fuck up, YouTube. You were doing the same thing and showing people your model when we were in that VIP. I remember that. They were so nice, by the way. Immediately after that, I tried to look behind me again. I don't see Matara, and said, I meet eyes with this other gorgeous woman who smiles at me, and then I smile and then look away. I think I introduced myself to her as Numi VTuber as well. I don't remember, but then she was talking to me, and then I said, sorry if I look like if I'm anxiously looking around. I'm so sorry. I lost the only person that I know, and I'm very scared right now. What are you, a child? I don't know why I was saying these things. She just looks at me. She's like, hey, don't worry. You're safe with us. You're safe here. We're safe. This poor woman had to comfort me during a BB Nobody concert because I was tweaking. Bro, I think I just kept saying to this woman, like, my God, you're so pretty. And then she said, no, I love your bangs. And I said, oh, wow, I really, because I cut them myself yesterday and I thought I them up and cut them too short. I feel like I look stupid as shit. And then she's like, no, looks great. I'm also trying the bangs too. And I was like, no, you look great. And then I said, I'm too gay for this shit. And then she was like, oh, I don't even remember how it happened. But at that point, I think it was too much for me at that point. And then I just turned around and left. And then I look at my phone. It was messages from Matara telling me I just went to sit down because my feet hurt. She was there she was behind me. She was just on the couch behind me watching she was just watching me melting the whole time and laughing at me. And then, so there's this one influencer that I think I've seen at like 4 parties now that I have never been able to utter a single word to because I always thought they were super sick and super fucking cool. And then they ended up being there. And it was them and their other really pretty friend that walked and were in the spot that I was at. And then I said, of course, there's more of them that I can't. Mind you, boys, I've seen her at a bunch of parties. Like Ross's party. God forbid I will never tell him that because then he would try to introduce me and I can't do that. Sometimes it's better, things are better left unsaid. But because I never introduced myself and I would just be like yearning a conversation with this cool person, they would catch me staring. Over the past couple of years, every time I see them and they make eye contact with me and I look away, I feel like I don't know what they think, but like I know that they're probably like, why does this bitch keep staring at me? I see this bitch everywhere and this bitch keeps staring at me and I don't even smile because I'm too nervous. But at least at this point, Matara was behind me so I didn't have to speak unless spoken to. But then BB No Money played my favorite song. I got really excited. I was like, oh my god, it's my favorite song. Holy shit. And I was so loud. They both turn around, her and her friend both turn around and look at me. They try to offer the spot to me so that I could be like in the front to watch the song. And then I just go, oh no, it's okay. I'd rather not, the pretty ladies. And they just looked at me with the emote, bro. Like they didn't even say anything. They didn't even say anything back. I think the girl's friend said, are you sure? And then there was a part where they did a cosplay contest. There was somebody dressed as Javik. He like kissed Will Neff. And then I shouted, ally. And then they both looked at me and they laughed. That is the only good thing that I will take from that experience. I went home that night. And like when I told you guys that I woke up at 4, I woke up in a cold sweat thinking about all of the things I said